I felt Arsenal won in some ways, and so did Sunderland. I thought Sunderland takes something away, we take something away while accepting we could do with this rest because we need to get some people back to then go on to the next level, which no one's seen yet, right? None of us have seen this yet, and I can't wait for it.
You said it there, yeah, and I'm going to touch on that in the beginning in a bit. But one thing that I like about Arsenal is, again, it's been 10, 11 games. Our attack and all other aspects were good, but I think we could be great and go up the gears. And when you've got the points on the board that we have, I don't want to take the lazy view, but if you offered people this in August, kind of without context, the wins, the losses, the draws, and the points, they'd have bitten your arm off for it. Like, I know people could take the kind of basic view and say, oh, Sunderland just got promoted, Arsenal's a bigger club, quote unquote, and all that kind of stuff. But if you've been watching the Premier League and paying attention, naturally, Sunderland have performed quite well, even overperforming. I had them down to get relegated, which looks silly now. So I think when you look at it, it was going to be a contest like that. They've got a good defensive record. They're good on the ball. They've got Xhaka, who's their captain and doing what they're doing. I think you said it twice, and I think it's gone over people's heads. So I'm going to say it again. When you're traveling and the games are coming thick and fast and we've hardly got players, it is like to perform in the Premier League, making no excuses, it's a big task. So to come out of there with a point, considering everything, is great. But I do want to ask you, Clive, because it's a bit of a weird game. Both teams had to come from behind. Both teams took the lead. Is it 2 points dropped or is it a point gain for you?
Whenever you drop points, you always think what you could have done better, right? Could we have made changes? Could we have scored this goal? Could we have defended the second phases better? There's always something, but sometimes you just have to accept that there's something just called football. And if you all knew what was going to happen, we'd all be millionaires because we'd have won. All our bets would have come in, all our accumulators would have come in, right? We wouldn't even be here, right? And so, and this is what's so beautiful about football, isn't it? We hadn't conceded hardly a shot, and suddenly a couple of second balls,
2 have gone in,
2 goals, and we're looking at people and wondering, are people on it defensively when really we are the most on it defensive team in Europe?
Facts.
It's what's so brilliant about football. So there's always things you could do better. I felt we fatigued in the last 5 minutes or so, understandably, and that's it. And we weren't as alert to events, and we just got done by a fraction. I saw today, I don't know if you've seen it, DG, but on the goal, because Gabriel threw himself at it, the actual shot deflected off his head and went over Raya. I mean, this is how close. If he doesn't,
fine margins.
If he doesn't get there, if he's half a step slower, Raya just saves it. And it's like, what can you do, right? And this is the game. This is the game. It'll go our way in a few weeks' time, hopefully against Spurs, right? And we go from
it needs to go our way against Spurs. And you know what? On top of the obvious, Spurs have probably drawn the short straw because I know for a fact Mikel Arteta and these players, they're disappointed to drop points. They're going to come back if they are on international duty, the players that are with a lot of fire and desire. And I'm proud of my boys because I know the run we're coming into after the international break. People look at the names, and rightly so. There's some big teams and some big hurdles that we have to cross. But I was kind of more nervous of the run of fixtures that we've just ended because naturally there's a lot of bogey teams, etc. And we've dealt with the business. I do feel naturally, and you probably see it as well, football fans are emotional. 1 minute we're the best thing in the world. And, as much as you tell people to keep calm, suddenly everything's scary, especially with, what City could do and things of that ilk. I think it's 2 points dropped just because of what it could have meant. But I think sometimes life is unfair and football's the same. And sometimes I think it is fair. I think when it's all said and done, neither Arsenal nor Sunderland can complain they only got a point. Both teams are good defensively this year. Probably disappointed at the 2 goals they scored. And it's like you said, sometimes it's football. Like we hit the post couple times, couple fine margins. Probably could have started the first half better. Was great in the second. But all in all, we can't really complain. And again, I have to reiterate the point you made because I think people see it as a bit of a cop-out. There's a lot of games. We are traveling up and down the country and abroad. You are going to kind of see this. And that kind of filters this conversation into what I wanted to ask you. Like, how do you feel about our injuries? Because I feel we've got depth and it's really being tested. But are you a bit nervous about our injuries at the moment? Because some would say it's shades of last season potentially.
So at this moment in time, we're all thinking we're going to get 5 or 6 back by Spurs game, and they're all going to be in tip-top shape. Well, they might not be, right? And then we have to be honest and say we might lose a couple in actual break. It could happen, right? So
how life works.
And we just got to just stay on course. I feel there's a couple of injuries that annoyed me, so just go through them, right? The Martinelli one, what happened there? He comes on late in the game and something happened. I don't know what that is, but that one annoys me, right? Because he's just rolling into some sort of form. Just have Martinelli for this game late in the game. We turn them around and they don't put the pressure on. We don't lose a territory battle. Excuse me. Jesus, that's just one of those things. If we don't get Man United in that competition, we get Accrington Stanley, then he's not killing himself at the edge of the area and getting a cruciate. Gyökeres, understandable. Overplayed, too many minutes, just gets a little tweak. You know what? Just take that. That happens. But that was a byproduct of Havertz's one, which was really unfortunate. He gets a knee contact when he's in the ground.
First game of the season.
First game of the season. Major player for us. Major player. And then we lose him. You know, the Odegaard one. Again, we played the Eze, Odegaard, Rice.
What we all wanted to see.
Well, I didn't want to see it, mate. But let's not go there.
Oh, you didn't want to see it? Why not?
Because I just not. I like Rice, Odegaard, and Steve Mendy. That's my favourite midfield. But I'm sure there's going to be an occasion. There's going to be an occasion for that midfield. So we do that midfield. And in the game, Odegaard's doing a lot more physical contact because Eze wasn't really doing it in that game. And he hangs his leg out and gets a knee-to-knee, and we lose him again. That one disappointed me a little bit. So, yeah, I just think we're a couple short. And it's okay. And this is what everyone's thinking right now because City turned up in Pep's 1000th game, did the business. Everyone's thinking, oh, City are now on Arsenal's shoulders.
The Sharks are circling.
They're circling. Yeah, City are on our shoulders, but our shoulders haven't showed how broad they are yet. Do you see what I mean? We haven't seen this team yet fully. With this
We've just had to box smartly. We've had injuries, players coming in late like Gyökeres. We're not in our final form. And that could go for a couple of other teams. But that is a point that you said, Clive, that I keep reiterating, but it's falling on deaf ears.
No, it's not. People listening, they just don't reply in the comments. That's all. All right, so basically, if you think back to the game, Newcastle away, think what we were able to do we took off Saka in that game.
Yeah,
we took him off because he wasn't fit yet. We brought on Odegaard in that game because he wasn't fit yet. But we were able to bring on Odegaard in that game, and he forced them back, and we got the 2 goals late. Now, they were set-piece goals, but don't worry about that. I thought that game was probably our best performance this season, end-to-end. The first half open play was brilliant. Although a lot of people say second half Sunderland was our best performance.
I think Newcastle for me, man, in all of that, I think that was a turning point at this point for me.
I think so. I think when we look back, if we win anything, that's going to be the game. And we're still incorporating people. I can see someone mentioning Eze in that, and the shots that he had. He needs some luck, by the way, with some deflectors off shots. And we're doing all of this while we're settling people in. I'm really, really, really impressed. You know, I'm really impressed with what we're doing. But I can't wait to see a situation when we're 1-0 up and we're bringing on Gyökeres. We're bringing on Madueke. And then people they're going to have to beat us twice, right? So good luck with that. I can't wait for this power to come in the offensive areas. I love the young players that we have. We all love Max Darwin and Ethan, etc. But Sunderland away was not the occasion.
Horrible game to expose them to.
You don't do that, you know. You just don't. You have a responsibility for those players, and so yeah, we just missed a couple of men, couple of sprinters we needed for this game.
A couple of options.
Yeah. Well, they brought on 3 strikers, didn't they, towards the end of the game, and
we'd love to do that.
That freshness and alertness from Bobby just got him there a fraction ahead of our players. He was fresh, he was sharp, he went for it. It worked out for him. And fair play to them. This is the game, right? This is the Premier League. That's why I think it's such a good advert for the Premier League.
I thought we weren't entertaining, so I back your opinion on that. That was a good poster for the Premier League, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Like I say, when you don't win, you can. It's frustrating. Let's think about it, right? At halftime, I'll be honest with you. I was thinking I would take a draw now, because normally Arsenal fade, and I thought after the week, you know what? Just take a draw. We're playing okay. I could probably see us. They defended their box really well. We weren't getting any set pieces. I think, you know what? I'll take a draw. Then they came out and played so well, and they surprised me. And I think I've seen a lot. But they surprised me. The execution, determination, the intensity to get around the ball. They surprised me a lot. And so I felt it would have been nice, but no need to be perfect in November. Let's be perfect in April and May. That's what it really
Exactly. You
counts.
just got to be in and around, and we are. And I know if you were to compare, like if we were just to focus on Arsenal, just focus on Liverpool, any team in the league, there's different talking points and pros and cons. But if we were to look at the league table, nothing's decided. Nobody's got any distance. Like, of course, I
Yeah.
like a 4-point gap, but we can't. And I'm not extending this to the club because I don't think they are. But Arsenal fans can't be complacent. There's going to be twists and turns, and God forbid, but if we go and lose against them lot down the road and the points change to 1, what could happen? And to which I'd implore Arsenal fans, yeah, if you're worried about City, beyond the obvious, go and look at the points gap in the last international break and now, and there's going to be many twists and turns. I want to ask you as well on Sunderland, Clive, yeah, Mikel Arteta, like, I don't blame anybody. I think we all share the W's. We all take the L's. I think there was periods in the game where we did better and worse than Sunderland. But I do feel Mikel Arteta maybe could have, I'm not nothing against the Mascara sub because that needed to happen. But do you think at least the Miles Lewis-Kellys, the Norgards could have come on a bit sooner? Because a lot of fans were saying Rice looks cracking. I understand not taking off Rice. I'm nervous, but where do you stand on that? Or the game management from the manager, better yet, in that game?
Yeah, when you got Declan Rice there, it's hard to take him off, right? When he can just find it, and he tends to find it. So my theory is on this one: if you're going to commit to we're going to defend this out. We're just going to defend it, right? So, what else could you have done? And I said this Thursday on the Vision. I sort of said, well, the only change I would have made I'd have brought on Mosquera. Absolutely, he's a most aerially dominant centre back.
There is the option of Hincapié as well.
Yeah, Hincapié maybe potentially for Calafiori, but Calafiori, I would say, stronger in the air. And it's going to be an aerial game, and he had the break in the week.
I thought he got back 3.
Yeah, well, he sort of went to a 5, didn't he? Went to a 5-4-1, and that's what he did. So my only thing I would have done, it's the only thing I would have done is, well, maybe 2 things, and this is pure hindsight. If you're going to go defensive, maybe Christian Norgard for Zubimendi was the option. Or Norgard, you can choose. If you want to get Rice out because you think he's tired, and I don't think Rice is a great box defender, shall we say. I think he's great everywhere else, but I don't think he's a great box defender. Look back. Remember the Fulham 2-2 when they scored late from a corner? He's not a great box defender. So I think Christian Norgard is a good box defender. So you could have done that for Rice or Zubimendi. Take your choice. And I felt Tim had a bit of a knock in the head early in the game. He was lacking a bit. Look, mate, he's the best right back in the league, right?
Mustard, so, man.
Again, what are you doing? Why are you taking him out? He wouldn't have affected the goal. But again, it's just another body. Now, when you bring on these bodies, what you do make an assumption is that they are going to be foot perfect versus the ones who are tired. What if they come on and make another type of mistake we can see?
Because they've got to get into the game. And a game like that, where it's just complete madness and, like you said, entertainment and a statement for the Premier League, you've got to like hit the ground running. It's like asking someone essentially that's never swam to just swim in the strongest currents. That is something fans don't talk about.
Exactly. And I'm thinking we just assume they're going to be foot perfect. So the only one I would have done, and we probably bought this player for this scenario, is Norgard to say, get out there and organise us in the back there. Like, and I don't want to mention his name, but remember when Rob Holding used to come in late in games?
Yeah.
And just
you knew what time it was.
We've committed to this now. We're going to commit to it for 5-10 minutes. So I think Norgard is perfect for this. 31-year-old guy, knows where to stand, gets people around him. I just felt if I'm him after the game doing my warm down run and then getting in on the coach, thinking, man, I could have helped in that last 10 minutes. That's a bit of me that I think every one of us would want Zubimendi to start every single game he can possibly start. But there are times away, up north, last 10, 15 minutes, we got no forwards. We can't win territory.
Bring on your Norgard.
Yeah, this was it. If Norgard was fit at Anfield, I think we bring him on to see that game out. We didn't get him on. We didn't get enough energy into that midfield in time. Too many were still settling. So, yeah, that's the only thing I would have done. The rest of it is fine. But let's be honest. Everybody in your chat and listening right now, none of us thought we can see 2 goals in a game of football.
Hell no.
Right? No. So why wouldn't you back the people that are out there?
And you're right. And that's unfortunate. Like you said earlier, sometimes, and I think Declan Rice even said on Instagram, it's not a cop-out, but that's just how football goes sometimes. Of course, there's things we could have done better. I'm sure the boys, when they finish their recovery session today or something, the players that haven't gone off with their countries, they'll watch the goals again. Does Raya think he could have done better? Does Magalhaes? Does everybody else in the phases of play? 100%, just like with the half chances our attackers had. But all in all, if you can't win, don't lose. And again, we did come back from behind. Of course, I want to beat Sunderland on paper. We should be winning games like that. But if you've been watching the Premier League, if you've seen what Sunderland have done, if you know, consider all the facts that Clive has said, and you mesh it all together, that's why what happened. How do you feel about, like, going back to the attacking conversation? Like, why is it for you that it just seems to be like the cluster of our attackers? Of course, there's been other players with injuries, but it just feels like all of our attackers seem to be going down at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's mad.
I could say a couple of them are annoying. I mean, Madueke, mate, he's an unbelievable athlete. How's he picked something up? I can't think of what happened.
Just
there.
when he was doing all right as well.
Yeah, and he's gutted. He was doing well with England, and so he's come out of the picture there. He was very close to making it on Saturday, very close. So he'll definitely be back. And so that's a bit annoying, because I think we really missed that energy. And same for Martinelli, again, another impact player. Really missed that energy. And think about the goal. One of your chat guys sort of said it. The energy that we missed was in the top end of the pitch to press the entry pass,
which is a form of defending in itself.
You know, when you get, people can get good service into your box if you can't get their heads down. You know what I mean by that? You press them, get their heads down. They just got to lump it in there. They're able to pick people out into the box. So that second goal. On that second goal, it's sort of annoying because Saka waves his leg at it to sort of block a cross. If that ball just comes in our box, we are set for that first cross.
We're ready to deal with it, yeah.
I'm sure we deal with it. But he deflects it and Marino can't get across laterally to stop the second ball in. So it's almost like a second phase that they've manifested.
Yeah.
Just because it deflected to somebody who was in space, he reverses the ball in to the other side, our weak side. And Saliba's a little bit on his heels. Zubimendi has to challenge, and Zubimendi's now challenging with their version of Gabriel, and he's like, that wouldn't have happened. Gabriel was set for the cross on the other side. Do you see what I mean? So now Gabriel's got to react to the second ball, which he gives everything to do, and it just touches the top of his head and goes in the net. It's called football. It's called football.
I second that, because people don't understand that.
It's called football. If Saka is not there, we just clear that and it goes out for a throw and we go home. There'll be another day when this goes our way. We wonder how it's happened. We can't explain it, but we won't care because we'll have the points. On this day, you shake their hands and say, you know what, lads, you played us proper. You gave us a good go.
Best of luck for the season.
You gave us a good go. And we stood up to it, so you can't call us weak. We stood up to it, dominated, just didn't quite hang on at the end.
But unfortunately, us Arsenal fans know that. The media and the people that wrong about us are not going to share that. But I always say, if we're going to live by outsiders' opinions, we're in for a long day. And to be fair, like you said, I genuinely feel a draw is a fair result, all in all, because I know people will say maybe Raya didn't need to be in that kind of zone he was for the second goal where Magalhaes, it's touched his head. But yeah. Raya saved us a lot, in my opinion. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Raya got us out of jail a couple of times in that game. And credit to Raya, because he's not had nothing to do in games prior. It is what it is, man. Like, it is what it is. It really is what it is.
Raya was just trying to help his mates out.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
was coming off his line. He could see they're all flagging. So if I can get out there and help support them by being front-footed, and he just got that one a little bit wrong. But we say that now because if it doesn't hit Gabriel's head, it just hits Raya in the face, right? And that's it. Game over, right? So it's one of those things. But if you keep putting the ball into areas, make people defend, make these elite clubs defend. I have to be honest with you, I quite like it, what's happening to the game at the moment. I sat there for a couple of years.
I'm happy someone else said this.
Well, the thing is, I remember when we lost to City by a couple of points, I felt that no one even tried to play City. Everyone just went deep and stayed deep and didn't try to attack them. Yeah, that's not good enough. It's not good enough. You have to play them, right? So Liverpool this year, they've been challenged. So their centre-backs have been asked to run backwards. Last year, no one challenged them in the same way, So,
facts.
And so now people are saying to these elite teams, you're going to have to defend your area. You have to defend your box. You have to defend throw-ins. You're going to have to, if you're elite, deal with it. And some of the teams can't.
Facts.
I think we have done. We are unfortunate in this game. I don't think we shy away from it.
We relish it, or our defense does. In fact, the whole team has to chip in defensively. So clearly they do. This is the ugly parts of the game they criticized us for not being able to do. So I'm happy we're on it.
So if team's going to go direct on us, and that's fine, and we win it, and then we turn around and have mini counterattacks against them, do you know what? They'll shorten their game up. When they shorten their game up, we'll go and press them like Declan Rice did on the second goal. When they try to build out, no, we're going to take it off you. The key is, in any team, have you got the option to deal with the different styles of play that people are going to come at you with?
Exactly.
It's quite clear to me Liverpool can't deal with direct play. Their fullbacks are weak, right? They can't do it. Robertson can't play 3 games in a week, and Conor Bradley's good one-on-one defender. On the ball is atrocious, and the yellow card waiting to happen. So Konate can't play away from home. So they are unstable. Their first choice midfield is the only midfield that works, and their front three, they're still working it out.
Square pegs and round holes.
As far as I'm concerned, we drew a game, but we haven't got a problem. Everything's fits. We just need to add to it so we can add more energy to the group, right? So Liverpool now have got problems today. So Man City have
Big
found
problems.
Man City have found a new formula to try to protect their middle without Rodri there, so they crowd the middle, leave fullbacks in space. We know the drill, and then you leave space to roll into. So Doku then rolls out late as the ball's progressing.
He had a great game,
and that's cool. They've found a way, but I'm sorry, those fullbacks ain't going to carry them to the league. It won't happen, and so it's up to us to make sure we adapt to the